Good morning, everyone. So I will create this business application studio trial account separately, and I will give a deployment try once again. So you all know how to create a business application studio trial, BTP trial account, and access business application studio. So I will do it offline. I don't want to waste the time in the class. All right, that I will do as an offline activity. So in today's class, we are going to see our next topic, and that is batch operations. So first of all, what is batch operations, and what is a use case in the real-time scenario? So batch operations means whatever the CRUD operations we have, all these CRUD operations, they handle the request only as a single record. That means if I want to create an employee, you can create only one employee. If you want to update the employee, you can update only one employee. If you want to delete the employee also, you can delete only one employee. So all these things happens only one record at a time. Now batch operation means doing this as a batch, means for multiple records. For example, I have a company, and every year some thousands of employees join my company. So I need to create this employee data in bulk. I can't come to the employee form, fill their details one by one and then submit. So that is not possible. So the real-time use case is they will have the employee data in Excel and they just upload the Excel. That's all. If the Excel is having 1,000 employees, 1,000 employees should get created. If the Excel is having 10,000 employees, 10,000 employees should get created. Similarly, you can also use the same Excel template for updating, deleting as well. Okay, if you understand how to create multiple employees at a time, that is batch. This is called batch operation. So here operation name is create. So we call that as batch create, batch update, batch delete. Okay, so this is basically the batch operations. The exact real-time use cases, they will do these kind of bulk create, bulk update, bulk delete. So especially when they are coming from the Excel upload, obviously, because I can't type 1,000 employees right at a time. So they have this data already in Excel and they upload the Excel. Now this Excel data should be ready in SAP UI5 and that should get created in the backend. And some people, what they do, they don't read the Excel data in SAP UI5. They upload the Excel to the backend, and in the backend they read the data and push it into the table. So either ways you can do it. But whatever I am going to show you, it's a pure batch operations approach. Okay, right. So I hope you understand what is batch operations. Batch operations is nothing but your CUD operations, create, update, delete operations. They handle the record only one record at a time, that is naturally. But if you want that to handle in a bulk records, then the batch operations will come into picture. So here from the backend, you no need to do anything. We already have our create employee method, which is already implemented. The same method gets called. So really, you no need to do any separate coding for that. The only thing is you need to redefine two methods and leave it. That's all. So let's go to the runtime artifacts, DPC extension class. So here there are two methods. One is ChangeSet begin. So indicates the begin of your first request. ChangeSet begin. Just redefine it. Activate it and leave it. That's all. 1 second, getting a call. अच्छा के बाद है ओके हेलो जी में अच्छा ओके के बाद है अच्छा ओके ओके Yeah, so we need to just redefine this, and you don't need to write any code, just activate it. So basically the ChangeSet begin indicates the begin of your ChangeSet. ChangeSet means whatever the number of records you are sending to the backend. So the ChangeSet begin will be pointing out to the first record. And there is another method which is called ChangeSet end, so which will be indicating the ending record, last record basically. This is ChangeSet end. So redefine it and activate it. So this is what you need to do from the backend, and remaining thing you need to do in the front end. Okay, so I'm going to create a new project for batch operations. So since I am not able to deploy my project from Business Application Studio, I will create this project in SAP Web IDE. So in this way, you know, in case those people who are working in real time, by any chance, if you get a scenario to work with the SAP Web IDE, so that also covered. Normally in every batch, I will show at least one project in SAP Web IDE also, so that in normally people are not using SAP Web IDE, but in case some old projects, so who are working with the old projects and all, SAP Web IDE still the people are using. Okay, I have seen those projects as well. Okay, so in that case it will be useful. So I'm opening my SAP Web IDE. So this will be taken care. You no need to worry about this Web IDE setup and all. So that will be taken care in the real time. Actually, Web IDE also you will open like a URL only. Yeah, this is your Web IDE. Right. So how to create a new project by using SAP Web IDE? Let us see. So when you open SAP Web IDE, this is how it looks. It has only one folder called Workspace. Under the Workspace, you will have all your projects. So all these projects I only created. Okay. Now right click on this new project from template. You need to select SAP UI5 application. Click next. You need to give the project name. So I'm giving the project name as D72 Batch Operations. Okay. Namespace com.demo. So normally you need to give com.client name. So click next. So only the first view will be created and then click finish. So this is our application. Okay. So go to the index.html and here in SAP UI core.js, so give the latest SAP UI5 library. So this is called CDN URL, so Contented Delivery Network URL. Okay, SAP UI core.js. Right. And if you want to change the theme, so you can also change the theme. SAP underscore horizon underscore dark. Right. Now let me click on the run. All right. So this application output is coming. Now let's go to the view one, and we can give a nice title like batch operations. Yeah. So OData service is not added to this project. So we need to add the OData service. So let us see how to add the OData service. So right click on the project, new, and here there is an option OData service. So click on this. You need to select the system. So our system is, what is our system? S4HANA, right? This one. So select this system. It will ask the username and password. Yeah. So once you give the username and password, it gives you a table. So from this table, you need to select which service you want to add. So I want to add ZB72 underscore EMP underscore SRB. So once you type your service, this particular table will be filtered with the service that you want. So select the service, click next and finish. Now once you do this, in the manifest.json, this particular data source will be added. Okay. But whereas in Business Application Studio, along with the data source, so let me show you. So it not only just add this data source, but also at the bottom, it creates the OData model. So this OData model also gets created automatically. So this is, what is this? This is OData model. What is the name that we have for OData model? No name. No name we give for the OData model. Okay, so that is added automatically in case of Business Application Studio, but in case of Web IDE, so it will not add anything under the models folder. So this is one difference. So you can just write. So you can just add that. So I'm going to add it. Okay, so same to same thing. I just added here. Here you need to change your data source name. Our data source name is ZB72 underscore EMP underscore SRE. So data source, its name is ZB72 underscore EMP underscore SRE. So that this particular OData model will go and point to this data source, and this data source is pointing to this OData service URL. Okay, so basically same. So here also it is same. So in your Business Application Studio, the only thing is here the data source, all this configuration has come automatically without you writing the code. Okay, right, fine. Now next thing is, see here what we are going to do is, we are going to upload the Excel. So let me show you already developed application so that you will get an idea. So basically I'm going to show you the interface, how it will be in the real time. What happened? The price. Okay. So create bulk employees, nothing but batch operation. So in real time, we are going to give an option for them with a file uploader. This file uploader we already know. How do we know? We uploaded the photo of the employee. So this is the same file uploader, same view coding, no difference in that. Okay. So controller coding will differ. I will show you. So here I will select the Excel. So let me select some Excel here. The moment I select the Excel, so all the Excel content, so here the content is empty, so that's the reason it is like this. So all the Excel content should read into the SAP UI5 application. So here in this particular process, SAP has not given any library to read an Excel content and keep that into the SAP UI5 table. So SAP has not given any library for that. So in this particular situation, what we have done is there is a third-party JavaScript library, means the JavaScript library which does not belongs to SAP UI5. So you know that JavaScript is an open source framework, right? So we have this third party. Why I am calling that as third party? Because this JavaScript is not belongs to SAP UI5. So that particular third party library we are going to use to read this Excel content, and that particular Excel content will be converted into a JSON model. Okay, so let me write it here. So first you will upload the Excel. So the content of the Excel content will be read by whom? So it will be read by third-party JavaScript library. Third-party JavaScript library, and it will convert that into a JSON model. So let's say you have your JSON model, and inside the JSON model we have the array, so that is filled already. So when it is automatically converted into JSON model, don't you know how to bind that JSON model to the table? We already know, right? We already know how to bind a table to the JSON model. That is not something new for us. Only this particular part, how to read the Excel content and keep that into a JSON model. So this is something we don't know. Okay. But this particular third party JavaScript code you will not understand, guys. Okay. Not only you, anybody, even an expert in SAP UI5 also, he will also did not understand. So they simply use that reusable code that is already there in Google. If you type reading Excel content into a JSON model, so that's all you will get it. So same reusable code they will copy and paste. So that particular reusable code was given as a function. So that function we will just use it here as well. Okay. So even you do not understand the function, don't worry. So what you need to understand is, so we have given our Excel as the input and it has given JSON model as the output. That's all. This is what you need to inject in your brain. How it is reading that Excel content and converting that into JSON model, that is not our duty. That is not our headache also. Why? Because that third party JavaScript library is doing its job. Okay. So how it is doing and all, that is not our job. Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the third party JavaScript library and read the Excel content, and it gives me JSON model. Once I have the JSON model in hand, I will bind that JSON model to this table so that JSON model contains array, so that array content will come and sit in this table. So indirectly Excel data has come and sit in this table. And if I want to change any data, I will change it and I will click on submit batch. So exactly when you click on submit batch, what to do, that we will see as a second part. Okay, so let us finish the first part, that is reading the Excel content using third party JavaScript library. Right. So first, screen designing. So in the screen designing, I need a file uploader. So this you already know. This is table. Table also you already know. So is there anything that you don't know here? Nothing. This is a label with a file uploader UI element. This is a table UI element. So I'm not going to type, guys, because I already typed so many times the table code, this file uploader. So let's simply copy paste it. All right. So first thing, we need to add the library for the file uploader. So I'm going to add it, and then I'm going to use hbox and a table. Is this the correct view? Right. So just copy and paste it. Just give me a second. This is not required. The toolbar not required. This is not required. So let me check the columns: employee ID, name, designation, skill, email ID. We don't have a phone number, date of joining, salary, and we have a rating, right? So this is rating, date of joining, email ID, salary, rating, joining. I'm just keeping it at the end. So let me just cross check with this columns: employee ID, name, designation, skill, email ID, salary, status, rating, date of joining. Okay, so salary, rating, date of joining, salary, here is salary, yeah, salary, and then status, rating, salary, status, rating, salary, status is not there, so let's add the status as well. Salary, status, rating, date of joining. So totally how many columns? 9 columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 9 columns, that's fine. And here also input, it's an input field, and then employee ID, name, designation, skill, email ID. So phone number not there. After email ID, what we have? We have salary. This is salary. So let me copy and keep it over here. We don't need to give like this. You can directly give batch model arrow mark salary, and then after salary, what we have? Status. After salary, there is a status. After status, we have rating. Let me copy this, paste it here, rating, and then what else we have? Date of join. So date value, so we don't need to write like this, we can directly give it like this. Yeah, fine. So our table is ready, and this file uploader also ready. So let's have a look at the output window. Okay, so we have our batch operations interface. Select the file to upload. So I will select the file like this. So as of now, the logic is not written, so nothing will happen in this table. Okay, so next thing, we need to read the Excel content and call the reusable function, so that the reusable function will convert this Excel content into JSON model. Okay, right. So when this should happen when you upload, when you select the file, right? So the moment I select the file, all this thing should happen. So let us go and see the action for selecting the file. So the action for selecting the file is change action. So for the change action, we are calling a function that is on select file. So in this particular on select file, so we are going to write our reusable coding on select file. So what we do is, so we will find out the file that you have uploaded, and that particular file will be passed as an input parameter to a reusable function. Okay, So how to get the file? So getting the file is very easy. So variable file equal to, we already written this one in our view 3 controller. So how to get that file? See, so this is how to get the file. OEvent.get parameter files of 0.name. So this gives the name of the file, but if you just want the file, so you can just stop. You can just stop with the files of 0. So files of 0 is nothing but your file. So let me copy it here and go to web ID. So OEvent.get parameter files of 0. So nothing but my file. So once you have your file, so let me call this as O file, means object. Normally the naming convention to define a variable which is an object, so we normally give as O. O stands for object. Okay, obviously files are objects in SAP UI5. So now I'm going to call my reusable function. Okay, so just a second. So even.get parameter files of 0 is file and then read. So this is the reusable function, guys. Read Excel content into JSON array, and you need to pass your file as a input to this particular function. And now this particular function you need to define. So from here to here. So this is what I'm talking about, this function. So this particular function, even you understand, even you don't understand, so don't bother about it. Okay. So the purpose of this function is to read the Excel content and convert that into JSON array. Now this particular function uses third-party JavaScript libraries. So what it does, it just read your Excel content and convert it into JSON array, and that JSON array you will find it at this particular line number 31. To do this entire thing, so I'm saying from the beginning that this function is going to convert your Excel content into a JSON model. So first of all, you need to declare a JSON model, right? Have we declared any JSON model? No. So we need to do that. Go to manifest.json, go to model section and define a JSON model, and the JSON model that I have created is batch model. So generally with the same name we create the JSON model name, batch model, which is of type sap.ui.model.json.json model. JSON model. Okay. All right. I will not explain line to line because that is not needed, and that too this is open source JavaScript, third party JavaScript, that is not needed for you. But at line number 31, so if you see the line number 31, the results are being given to this particular batch model. Okay. So what is batch model? It's a JSON model. Now inside this JSON model, we need to define an array called array of employees. So this we need to do in the init function. So let me do this. Our JSON model should contain some array, right? So that array we only need to define it. So my JSON model as of now present in a manifest.json. So this is my JSON model. So variable my JSON model equal to this dot get owner component. If I want any model, I need to get it from component.js. So this dot get owner component dot get model, and it gives me my batch model, and I will say my batch model dot set data. So I'll just define an empty array of employees array of employees, and that's all. I'll just leave this array as empty. So that means my batch model, which is a JSON model, contains the array, but the array is empty. It does not contain anything. And at line number 38, if you see, your third-party JavaScript library is giving the result in this particular array. This array is array of results. Who is giving this? This array of results is given by your third-party JavaScript library at line number 30. It is reading your Excel content and it is giving the result in array of results. Okay. So this array of results you are assigning to whom? You are assigning to your JSON model, and in your JSON model you define an array called array of employees. So this array will be filled. Got it? Now this particular array of results has a date of joining field as well. So when it is read from the Excel sheet, it comes as a string. So to convert that string as a date object, so we need to write this for loop. So for variable I equal to 0, I less than results dot length, I plus plus. For every results of I dot date of joining, so I'm converting that as a new date, means it is converting that as a date object. So this particular for loop is needed only if you have the date field. I have added this comment also here. Add this code only when you have a date field. If you do not have the date field, you no need to write this for loop. Clear? So this for loop is not needed in case you do not have the date field. If you have the date field, then only this particular for loop is required. Otherwise, just ignore it. No problem at all. Right. Yeah. Now let's go to the view and fine. So everything is fine. Now last step, you used the third-party JavaScript library. That is fine, but within the coding. So within the coding, you are directly using the third-party JavaScript library functions and all. But where did you added that third-party JavaScript library? For example, if I'm using a JSON model, normally what we do, we add the JSON model library at the top in our controller, right? If I'm using message box, I add the message box library at the top. If I'm using file uploader operator, file upload parameter, I will add the third-party, that particular library at the top. Now I am using the Excel SX third-party JavaScript library and I am using all the inner functions of it. Then where did I add the third-party JavaScript library? I didn't add it. So we need to add that as well. So if you do not add it, whatever the functions that it is calling here, none of them will work. Okay, so let us see how to add the third-party JavaScript libraries. So within the web app folder, you need to create another folder with the name libs. Libs means libraries. So if your project needs any third-party JavaScript libraries, so you can create a folder with the name libs under the web app folder. Now within this particular folder, you need to upload